Hello, my name's Anthony McGowan, and I'm thrilled that Dogs of the Deadlands is the Blackwell's Children's Book of the Month for September 2023, and here it is. So what is it all about? Well, the book begins on April the 26th, 1986. It's the birthday of a little girl called Natasha who lives in the small town of Pripyat in what was the Soviet Union and is now Ukraine. And for her birthday, she's given a beautiful, pure white Samoyed puppy. Now, maybe some of you were given a puppy when you were young, and perhaps you even sneaked into your bed on that very first night. Well, Natasha does, and her and her puppy have, who's called Zoya, have one perfect night of bliss together, forming that unbreakable bond between the child and the dog. And then something happens to break it. Because Pripyat is right next door to the Chernobyl nuclear plant. And at 1:23 that morning, the reactor number 4 explodes, destroying a huge part of the nuclear plant and spewing out radioactive particles over a huge area. Now, the people from the local region are all evacuated, but they're not allowed to take their pets with them. So Natasha is wrenched apart from her Zoya. And from that point on, the story splits, and we follow what happens to the little dog and to the little girl, following them both as they grow into maturity. Natasha's story is in some ways quite a sad one. She's torn away from all she knows and loves, and although she becomes a successful scientist, she never quite finds happiness in her life. She always has that puppy-shaped hole in her heart. But somehow the abandoned Zoya, little dog, manages to survive. And most of the book follows her adventures and those of her children, Misha and Bratan, in this new wilderness full of danger and drama. Because once the people were evacuated from the area, then nature took over, the forests enveloping the towns and the farms, and then the big beasts began to move back in. So you had herbivores like moose and bison and wild horse, and then following the herbivores, you had the meat eaters, bear and lynx, and most spectacularly, wolves. So my book shows my wild dogs trying to find a niche, a refuge in this dangerous world. It's a book full of spectacular animal fights with some sadness and some joy. It might make you cry. It might make you laugh. And at the end, without wanting to give any spoilers, there's a meeting, a closing of the circle, a reconciliation, and hope. Now, in writing this book, I tapped into my early love of animal stories, such as Tarka the Otter by Henry Williamson and Richard Adams' Watership Down, and most of all, The Call of the Wild and White Fang by Jack London. And I really wanted to make my animals as real and as natural as I could, while still giving them just enough of the human to make us truly care. Finally, I've got to say the book is so beautifully illustrated by the great Keith Robinson. He's a fabulous artist, and the pictures have a huge emotional punch and just make this book so much more powerful than it would be if it was just the words. Anyway, I really hope you enjoy reading it. Thank you.